But first, we're either seeing a great cultural revolution sweeping the West, or we're seeing a fit of suicidal madness. Maybe both. Leftist activists and race activists and Marxists and Antifa and odds and sods have all come together since George Floyd was killed by police in Minneapolis in an arrest gone horribly wrong. They've come together to say that the Western society they live in is rotten with racism. Even its statues are racist. And most racist of all are the police, who protect this rotten, rotten society. And so police have been attacked and their cars and even police stations burned from New York to Paris. Police under attack. And in London, police broke and fled before the mob. And here our police must put up with this abuse from race protesters.
The police! The police! The police!
Now, in this broad attack, we've seen the media left at least, too often siding with the rioters.
Please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
And this from Channel 10's The Project was particularly disgusting. Channel 10 multimillionaire Lisa Wilkinson and fellow panellists actually praising in their white guilt, in their white shame, a black woman who claimed that burning and destroying stuff was right because blacks, supposedly, owned none of it. Watch.
Well, yesterday I had the chance to talk to a new voice in the fight for equality in America. Part of Kimberley's power is the way she takes a sledgehammer to commonly held assumptions about the rioting and looting we've all witnessed.
When they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything.
I don't know how many of you have seen that video in full, but it is so educative. Yeah. You really feel like you get it.
Oh, yeah, the power is the passion, and she's so eloquent.
What's really educative is this video of Channel 10 presenters acting like morons. Listen, guys, if you really want to fight racism, how about you fight this racist idea that blacks can't make it in this society, it's too tricky for them, and none of them could possibly own the stuff that rioters stole or burned. They're all poor, aren't they? You know, blacks have to be looters and thieves, and blacks like the owner of this looted shop in New York, looted in the riots, simply don't exist.
I'm a part owner of this store. You said Black Lives Matter. Why don't you choke me? I'm black. Look what you did to my store. You wanted to loot the store. You needed money. Get a job.
But back to the police, because I want to show you the consequences of this tidal wave of anti-police hate, the radical chic posturing by the likes of Lisa Wilkinson, people who'd be the first to scream for the police if rioters burnt down their luxury home instead of some black shop in the Bronx. Now, one of the key demands of Black Lives Matter is to defund the police, even abolish them completely. And again, journalists are so paralysed with fear of being seen as racist, not me, that, yeah, this crazy idea makes sense.
Got to take. What, getting rid of the whole police force?
Well, I mean, I'm going to put it out there, yes, if that's what it's got to take.
They've done it before. Camden, New Jersey, Compton, California.
Did it work?
I don't see why wouldn't it.
Now, I've shown you before one answer to Waleed's question there. Why wouldn't this work? Scrapping the police, what could possibly go wrong? But the evidence is now growing about what actually could go wrong, and it's alarming. Some of it's actually funny, but only in a very sick way. You take that no police zone I've told you about before that activists have created in Seattle, taking over several blocks after driving out the police and not letting them back in. Now, it's taken less than 2 weeks to trash those blocks there and to now record its first murder. Last Friday, a black man, ironically, was shot dead in a gunfight with leftists then at this no police zone screaming abuse of the police who had to come in to help. While the trying to avoid being attacked themselves.
What's going on? Put your f***ing guns down! Go! Go to the hospital! Put your guns down!
But the anti-police revolution goes way beyond scenes of crazy leftists doing their nut, but police are standing next to them. In New York, police have been more hands-off because they've been scared of the protesters, and their plainclothes anti-crime unit has been disbanded. The mayor's very anti-police. And the criminals, as a consequence, seem to be emboldened in this general air of lawlessness. 51 shootings in New York just last week. Robberies last month, up by a third. Murders up 80%. So, do you really want fewer police? In London, leftists now are so hair-trigger sensitive to police stopping anyone of colour, no matter how suspicious they may be. They are so sure that the police are just being racist that passers-by even abused police of colour last week for searching a black man, even as the police found a big knife this man had been carrying.
Thank you for everyone's concern. Thank you. That's why he doesn't want to be searched, all right?
And in Germany on Saturday, in Stuttgart, police tried to arrest a man for drug offences. Before they knew it, and this is a measure of the anti-police sentiment, they were attacked by up to 500 people, most foreigners or Germans of ethnic background, if you go by those arrested, some of them calling out Allahu Akbar, and again treating police as the enemy. 19 police officers were injured.
In the 46 years of police service that I have under my belt, I have never seen anything like this.
He's never seen anything like it in his life, he said. So do you really want fewer police? Well, you might even get that. You ask yourself, who on earth would want to be a police officer now? And better ask yourself, what will it be like if more adults now don't stand up, politicians especially? So the race hustlers now vilifying the police that are your protection against the mob, your protection of this civilization.